Everything I'm about to speak to you today should be seen as entertainment purposes. I am not a financial advisor. You must do your own due diligence. Yeah.
Coincidence.
Yeah.
Coincidence.
Yeah.
Coincidence.
Something that happens by chance, I think not. What's crack, everyone? Welcome back to Buy or Sell. I hope you're all well. Before we get into today's video, can I ask everyone to please like, please subscribe, grow on the channel, all that jazz. Check out the recent Reuters article, guys, the one that I was featured in. Also, get me on the Instagram, BHSDMV, for that, trying to grow that platform. Anybody that has me on that will have seen more live recent trades. They'll get an update into what kind of videos I'm doing, all that. I'm very more active on that. Also, today, for example, I put up a post about the recent Twitter poll. Get me on Twitter, guys, at Damian. You can follow and keep up to date on stuff on that as well. But on the Twitter poll, 3 days left. These are requests that people have brought to me. I put them for vote. Whatever wins, I do a video on it. It's the first way, guys. People are getting their requests in already this week. So go on, cast your vote, and leave in the discussion tab of YouTube. You'll see the link, but leave your comments there for videos you want me to do. So it's just easier for me, and I won't miss any of them, and I'll put them to vote next week. So without further ado, let's get into today's video. So today's video is based on Iconic Labs. Now, Iconic Labs, I did a video on one of the kind of first videos I did, and it's got a lot of traction. A lot of people searching, a lot of people want to know about Iconic Labs. I thought they were turning a corner. I was quite bullish on them. I thought they were going to do great things. Then all the fundamentals changed within weeks. All the directors left. Their agreement with Joe Media was gone. And then I did a video sort of saying, look, guys, it doesn't look too good, and the fundamentals have changed. That I have pulled out pretty much all my money. I have about 10% of what I originally had left in them, and most of that was down to the fact that the order wouldn't go through. Big news came out last week. I noticed things were changing. So the first thing I did was went on to see like what's increased this year. I went on and had a look at the volume, and you can see some of the volume here. Searches, a lot of buying, big numbers. It was exciting. So volume was a good sign. I did my last update video on the 2nd of February. So if I went to the news section, I could see that, you know, that was the last of the bad news, just pretty much about all the stuff I talked about in the previous video. I'm not going to go into it. But it didn't look good at that stage. So I've seen that they've made executive changes. And if you look at the last sort of 3 headlines, it's about adding new directors. So at high level, I knew, well, these new directors must be, you know, doing something that's positive. John's proactive to get a bit more information on this here. I can see that they've appointed Sarah Dees, a wealth of management and fundraising experience behind her. Sectors including financial technology, banking and live events and natural resources. And then she said, I'm delighted to have this opportunity to lead Iconic Labs through the next phase of its development. Following the recent board changes, I will be prioritising early dialogue with OTT Holdings, which is important because that was part of the issue in my last video, alongside existing shareholders and lenders, Dees said in a statement. Another article came out about Iconic Labs that 3 more directors to the board, non-executive directors onto its newly formed board. Okay, so they appointed 3. Brandon Mohani, a certified accountant with previous partners at EI's business in Poland, will strengthen the Media and Technologies Group board, which currently is made up of 1 executive board, Chief Dees, and a non-executive director, Stephen Burrell. So you can see here, you know, they've hired a couple of other people, William, to deal with the finance and banking, and David. So look, everybody was gone. It was a clean slate. They lost all the Joe Media stuff. That was their main form of revenue, might I add. And they've brought in this expertise to try and pretty much get the company back up again and get it managed. So that is encouraging, because my last video, it looked to me, this company can nearly be bust here. Like, it's really on its knees. The Gay Star News was all they really had on their portfolio, and I was out. But it looks like they're trying to bring in expertise. And the key thing here for me is that Van der Meer is a partner at OTT Ventures. And OTT is massive. You want there to be back in, and that was part of the issue. So this is getting more deep. The issue that I also had was that with all of the previous directors leaving, and only left really Catherine there, and Catherine was the only director. And you know, if you know your company's house stuff, that's a breach of company house policy. You need to have more than 1 director. So at least they've been able to sort themselves out and keep the ship afloat. So it is a lot more positive than what it was previously. Just to make it very clear, so in my last video, OTT Holdings came out and scrutinised. They were big shareholders, as we talked about, over 5 billion shares in them. Highly scrutinised, said, you know, they've been appalling. Pretty much, Iconic Labs has been dire, to put it straight, right? And then obviously they lost Joe Media, all the things that were positive. It just looked to me like it was a dead duck. It really did. But looks like they've got the directors sorted, the company house stuff sorted. Now they've got OTT. Not only are they obviously complaining and saying, they literally went, guys, you know what it is? get us in, we will get this off the ground. And that's the way I look at it. So they've got expertise there, 30 years of expertise of getting mergers through, getting companies off the ground. If you go onto the website, you can read all about that, different types of information about it. So if we just jump on the OTT Ventures to get a bit of an insight here, they're involved in helping innovative startups and growing companies to reach their full potential. So they've brought in proper expertise. To me, they've done it remarkably well to be able to put this mess behind them. Or, the bombshell that was dropped on them, it looked so good, and within weeks this all went downhill, but it looks like they've actually been able to bounce back pretty damn well here. I can see now why the share price is jumped. These guys have come in and they've literally went, these guys, we can take this to the next level. If you go on to the Iconic Labs page, what I will say is, though, they need to do a wee bit more in updating this year. There's virtually nothing on their website, which is just dire. It doesn't fill me awake. I mean, look at the dates. News 2019, guys, it's 2021. That's poor. If you go to the investor section, I've talked about this before, there's nothing there. Our board, who's on the board? No, Catherine, as I talked about, she's the only one there, but we've seen these changes. So I know it's minor beer, but to me, if I was an investor and I was going onto their page, I go, they don't even have their most recent news up there. Who is the board? I'd be promoting that and getting that changed, but it's minor. So that's from the digging around that I've done over the last few hours. There's not a lot of information out there. I don't want to rehash all the previous stuff that I've talked about. Definitely check out those in the archives. But as a summary, new directors, company's house issues sorted. And the key thing about the director is that it's OTT Holdings that are having the big issues. They're the big shareholders. They've now brought in those expertise that they offer, which is all about setting up new companies, all about getting the best out of companies, and they've got a sort of 30-year track record of proving that. So I can see why the share price has throbbed. It is obviously within their interest to get this company to the next level because they're obviously hurting us shareholders. So there is a wee bit of conflict of interest there, but I've looked to try and see what are they talking about, what proposals are out there, what's in the pipeline, and there's not a lot of concrete evidence that tells me anything different than what I've already talked about. I have seen on forums people talking about, they're going to maybe do cryptocurrency. Please guys, give me some substantiation that actually backs up that claim, because I haven't really seen anything other than Chinese whispers. I'm not here to promote that kind of stuff. If that is the case, that would be very interesting. So please, if anybody has actual concrete evidence on that, please let me know. Other stuff I've read about is we need the GameStop guys to get this throbbed, and let's get it into the Reddit groups. Guys, if you are buying stocks on the hope that a Reddit group's going to pick it up and make the thing throb, then I really do feel sorry for you. Don't buy this stock because of that. And I hate anything to do with the Reddit group going anywhere near my stocks, because I am buying them for a reason. I am buying them for goals. I am buying them because I believe something can happen with them. And if I hear smell anything to do with Reddit, it just skew whiffs my plans and my projections. So I don't want anything to do with Reddit near this here. So if anybody that is promoting that, don't. But yeah, that's the scenario really, guys. Good, positive news. Definitely, they've done well, in my opinion, to be able to turn this around. I am very excited to see what OTT Holdings or OTT Ventures can do, and the directors change their concrete evidence of what's down the pipeline. That is the next stage for me. My last video, I was completely out near enough, and I didn't really want anything more to do with Iconic Labs. I have to say, from reading this, I'm a bit excited to see what the turning point is. You could definitely be swinging the life out of this, guys. On the mad, volatile swings that there's going to be. You could be definitely buying dips, selling high. Do a bit of jiggery pokery with that. Within that, don't forget, trading 212 is a nightmare for being able to get orders through. Be patient is my advice. Every morning reset your order, and just hope that it goes through. It doesn't pick up because this is so hundredth of pennies down the line. Trading 212 just doesn't pick up those things, unfortunately. So bear that in mind. If you are going to buy heavy, just remember this will always be tongue. It's going to be hard getting the money out. That was the problem that I had previously. But look, guys, make your own calls, do your own due diligence. Personally speaking, I've got 10% in. I ain't buying no more, just because I feel that whatever throb, if you want to call it, based on the information I've talked about, that's it. That's the throb out of it. Unless someone can come to me, or unless I get an alert, or I read something different that's more exciting, like a new acquisition or a new project or something, I'm not buying no more. But please, guys, leave your comments below. I'm interested to see. I know this is a kind of an underground stock, not a lot of talk out there, there's not a lot of research out there to be able to get. But if you guys know anything, please leave it in the comment section. Please like, please subscribe, grow on the channel, all that jazz. Get me on the Instagram, and until next next time. Thanks.
Yeah.
Coincidence.
Yeah.
Coincidence.
Something that happens by chance, I think not.